What if I told you that the reason you don't feel truly happy has nothing to do with your money, your job, your relationship status, or your past, and everything to do with how you've been conditioned to think? Most people spend their entire lives chasing happiness like it's a destination. I'll be happy when I get the degree. I'll be happy when I make more money. I'll be happy when I find the right person. But here's the brutal truth. Happiness is not a result. It's a decision backed by daily habits and a powerful psychology. And if you don't understand how your mind works, you'll keep achieving more, yet feeling empty. We live in a world that programs us to constantly compare, compete, and consume. Social media shows you everyone's highlight reel. Society tells you success equals worth. Your environment quietly trains you to focus on what's missing instead of what's meaningful. Over time, this creates a dangerous pattern. You tie your emotional state to external conditions. When things go well, you feel up. When things go wrong, you crash. That's not happiness. That's emotional dependence. The real reason most people never feel truly happy is because they're living by default, not by design. They react instead of create. They let circumstances control their state. They focus on problems instead of progress. And they underestimate one critical truth. Your emotions are not random. They are the result of your focus, your language, your physiology, and the meaning you assign to events. Think about this. Two people can go through the same failure. One sees it as proof they're not good enough. The other sees it as feedback and fuel. Same event, different meaning, different emotional outcome. Happiness isn't about what happens to you. It's about what you decide it means. Another hidden trap is the endless pursuit of more. More money, more validation, more achievements. The human brain is wired for progress, not possession. The moment you achieve something, your mind moves the goalpost. If your identity is built only around outcomes, you will constantly feel behind. But if your identity is built around growth, contribution, and purpose, you'll feel fulfilled even while climbing. And here's something most people don't realize. Your body influences your emotions just as much as your thoughts. Slouched posture, shallow breathing, low energy routines, they all signal stress and limitation to your nervous system. Change your physiology, and you can shift your emotional state within minutes. Energy is the foundation of joy. So how do you change it? First, take back control of your focus. Where attention goes, emotion flows. Train yourself to look for progress, not perfection. Second, upgrade the meaning you give to challenges. Problems are not punishments, they are invitations to grow. Third, build rituals that condition your state daily. Movement, gratitude, learning, contribution. Happiness is built through repetition, not luck. Most people wait for life to make them happy. Powerful people decide to create happiness regardless of conditions. The shift happens the moment you stop asking, why isn't life giving me what I want? And start asking, how can I grow from this and give more? True happiness is not about having a perfect life. It's about mastering your mind, directing your energy, and living with intention. And the moment you understand that you are the source, not the circumstance, everything changes. But here's the twist no one talks about. Sometimes the reason you're not happy isn't because you're failing. It's because you're succeeding at the wrong game. You can climb a ladder for 10 years only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. You can build a career everyone respects and still feel hollow inside. You can be surrounded by people and still feel alone. Why? Because achievement without alignment creates emptiness. If your goals are borrowed from society, your parents, or social media, then even when you win, you lose. Another twist. Comfort is quietly stealing your happiness. We think comfort equals safety, and safety equals peace. But human beings are not wired for comfort. We are wired for growth. When life becomes predictable, when there is no challenge, no expansion, no edge, your spirit shrinks. You may feel secure, but you don't feel alive. The happiest moments in your life were probably not the easiest ones. They were the moments you overcame something, stretched beyond your limits, or fought for something meaningful. Happiness is not found in comfort. It is found in progress. Here's another uncomfortable truth. Many people are addicted to suffering. Not consciously, but psychologically. Complaining brings attention. Victimhood brings sympathy. Blame protects the ego. When you blame your past, your parents, your country, your boss, you feel temporarily justified, but you also give away your power. And without power, you cannot feel fulfilled. The moment you take full responsibility for your emotional state, without excuses, is the moment your life begins to change. Let's go deeper. Your brain is designed for survival, not happiness. It scans for threats. It remembers pain more than pleasure. It exaggerates problems. So if you don't train it intentionally, it will default to negativity. That's not a flaw, that's biology. But awareness gives you choice. You must train your mind the way an athlete trains their body. If you don't consciously choose what to focus on, your mind will replay fears, regrets, and comparisons. If you don't consciously choose empowering language, you'll say things like, I can't, I'm unlucky, and nothing ever works for me. And every time you say that, you reinforce it. Words are not just sounds, they are commands to your nervous system. Change or we have to into I get to. Change or this is a problem into this is training. Change or why is this happening to me into what is this trying to teach me? Tiny shifts, massive impact. But here comes another twist. Happiness is not the ultimate goal. Read that again. If you chase happiness directly, it escapes you. The more you obsess over it being happy, the more you notice when you're not. That creates pressure, and pressure kills joy. Instead, pursue meaning, pursue growth. Pursue contribution. When you help someone else grow, you feel significant. When you improve yourself, you feel progress. When you connect deeply, you feel belonging. These are the real pillars of lasting fulfillment. Most people focus on pleasure. Very few focus on purpose. Pleasure is temporary. Purpose is sustaining. There's also a silent epidemic no one wants to admit. Emotional numbness. Some people don't feel truly happy because they've trained themselves not to feel deeply at all. They've been hurt before, so they built walls. They've been disappointed, so they lowered expectations. They failed, so they stopped trying. But you cannot numb pain without numbing joy. If you want to feel extraordinary happiness, you must be willing to feel vulnerability, uncertainty, and even rejection. Emotional strength is not about avoiding feelings. It's about mastering them. And here's another powerful twist. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask yourself. Most people ask disempowering questions. Why am I not good enough? Why does this always happen to me? Why is life so unfair? Your brain will always answer the questions you ask. If you ask limiting questions, you'll get limiting answers. Instead ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow stronger? What's one small action I can take right now? Small actions create momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates happiness. Another truth, comparison is a happiness killer. You compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. You compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10, and in doing so, you ignore your own growth. Gratitude is the antidote to comparison. When you intentionally focus on what you already have, your health, your skills, your opportunities, your brain shifts from scarcity to abundance. And abundance is where happiness lives, but gratitude alone is not enough. You also need vision. If you have gratitude without ambition, you feel content but stagnant. If you have ambition without gratitude, you feel driven but dissatisfied. The magic happens when you combine both. Grateful for where you are, hungry for where you're going. Humans are wired for love, belonging, and contribution. If you isolate yourself emotionally, no success will fill that gap. Happiness multiplies when shared. And here's one more twist that changes everything. You don't find happiness. You practice it. It's a discipline. It's choosing empowering thoughts when negativity is easier. It's choosing growth when comfort is tempting. It's choosing responsibility when blame feels justified. It's choosing courage when fear whispers to stay small. Happiness is not a mood. It's a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. Now let's bring it all together. Most people never feel truly happy because they chase outcomes instead of growth, live by comparison instead of gratitude, seek comfort instead of expansion, blame circumstances instead of taking ownership. Numb pain and accidentally numb joy. Focus on what's missing instead of what's meaningful. But the moment you shift from external dependency to internal mastery, everything changes. You realize happiness is not in the future. It's in your focus, in your physiology. It's in your standards. It's in your daily rituals. It's in the meaning you assign to your life. Here's the final twist. You don't need a new life to feel happy. You need a new lens. The same job can feel like a burden or an opportunity. The same challenge can feel like punishment or preparation. The same setback can feel like failure or feedback. When you control your interpretation, you control your emotional destiny. And that is freedom. True happiness is not loud. It's not constant excitement. It's not endless pleasure. It is a deep sense of alignment, knowing you are growing, contributing, and living intentionally. It is waking up with purpose. It is acting despite fear. It is being grateful while still striving. It is loving deeply without losing yourself. It is building strength from struggle. Most people wait for the world to change so they can feel better. Leaders change their inner world and their outer world follows. So stop waiting. Stop postponing joy. Stop postponing joy. Stop tying your peace to perfection. Decide that today you will take ownership of your state. Decide that growth matters more than comfort. Decide that meaning matters more than validation. Decide that your happiness is your responsibility. Because once you understand that happiness is created from the inside out, not granted from the outside in, you stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming the architect of your experience. And when that shift happens, happiness is no longer something you chase.